What if I told you that your life wasn't meant to be a constant struggle, that it's actually more like a performance? Today, we are diving deep into a really powerful idea: how to find this incredible stillness, right in the middle of all the action, by learning to see your life as a kind of divine play.
So let's just start with a big question right out of the gate. Are you really living your life, or are you just playing a role you've been assigned? It's so easy to get completely lost in the character we think we're supposed to be, and in the process, forget who we actually are. And that idea right there is the key to everything we're going to talk about. You know, from the moment we're born, society, our family, our culture, they all kind of hand us a script. We're given these parts to play. You're a son, a daughter, a professional, a good friend, and honestly, we learn our lines almost a little too well.
And here's the kicker. It's not just a part we play now and then. For most of us, we've become so completely identified with our role that we've actually mistaken it for our real life. We start to believe the costume is our actual skin, that the script is our soul.
So what's the result when this happens? Well, that's when life gets serious. You know that heavy, burdensome feeling that can follow us around? It comes directly from this mistake. We forget it's all a play, and suddenly every little scene feels like a life-or-death crisis.
Just picture it: an actor on a stage who totally forgets they're in a performance. A prop that gets stolen as part of the plot creates real, genuine anger and a sense of loss. A fake, scripted argument feels like a deep, personal betrayal. That is exactly what we do in our own lives. We create all this real suffering from a drama we've forgotten we're a part of. Okay, so if we're all lost in our roles, how in the world do we break that spell? How do we remember that we are the actor and not just the part we're playing? Well, the answer is actually so beautiful and simple, and it's hiding in the tiny little gap between our breaths.
So this is the actual technique. As you're just going about your day, in the middle of doing literally anything, you just keep a part of your attention on the space between your breaths. And the promise here is just massive. By practicing this, it says, you can be born anew.
And the most important part of this is that it's not about retreating from the world. It's the total opposite. This is a technique that's designed to be practiced right in the thick of things. While you're eating, while you're walking down the street, at your job, even while you're talking to someone. You don't stop your life. You just add this quiet layer of awareness underneath it all. So here's exactly how it works. You're doing whatever you're doing. Step 1, keep doing it. Now just bring a little bit of your focus inward. And just notice that tiny quiet pause after you breathe in. And then notice it again, that moment of absolute stillness right after you breathe out. That's it. That's the whole practice. You just let a part of your attention rest in that silent gap. And when you start to practice this, something really remarkable starts to shift. You begin to experience your own existence on two different levels at the exact same time. It's this split between doing and just being. Think of it like this. On this circumference, on the periphery of your life, all the activity just keeps on going. The role is being played, things are getting done. But at your center, in that quiet gap you've found, there is only being. There's just stillness. There's attentiveness. And that's the real you, just watching it all happen. Now, the ultimate result of mastering this state is that your entire relationship with life just fundamentally changes. It stops feeling like this heavy weight you have to carry, and it starts to feel like something else. It becomes a drama. All those things you do every day, the things that used to feel so serious and stressful, they start to feel more like an act. You're still doing them. You're still performing all the actions, but you're no longer completely lost inside of them. It becomes a conscious performance. And then it hits you. It's as if you're playing a part in some grand play. You say your lines, you hit your marks, you interact with all the other actors, but now some quiet part of you is always aware that it's a performance. See, this is the whole secret. You become anchored in your true self, that still, quiet center. Meanwhile, the character you're playing just continues on its journey at the circumference. And this creates this beautiful, peaceful detachment that lets you participate fully in life without ever being consumed by it again. A perfect example of this is the figure of Krishna. He's often described as one of the greatest actors of all time. He plays so many different roles, he gets involved in all of life's drama, but he's never, ever serious. And why? Because he is never lost in the part. He's always awake at the center. Now, this idea of a pre-written script is taken to an even more fascinating level in another story. It's said that the sage Valmiki wrote the entire epic of Ram's life, the Ramayana, before Ram was even born. Just think about that. It means Ram's entire life was, quite literally, a performance of a script that was already finished.
And this connects to this really profound idea of destiny, known as bhagya. If you can accept the idea that maybe the script is already written, well, it changes the game completely. You're no longer being asked to anxiously live your life, worrying about every single choice. You are simply being asked to enact it, to play your part and play it well.
So, what is the ultimate result of all of this? Your whole life, it starts to feel as if it's happening to someone else. The wins, the losses, the joy, the pain, all of it belongs to the character. And you're just the calm, centered witness, watching the whole play unfold.
All right, so to wrap this all up, let's bring it all home with one final provocative thought for you to chew on.
If we just entertain this idea, that the script is already written, that our destiny is set, then really there's only one question left that matters. And that is, how will you play your part? Will you play it with anxiety and seriousness, completely lost in the role? Or will you play it with awareness, with a bit of a smile, centered in the witness? Because that choice is everything.